Hi. Before you begin this episode, I should note that this is a two-part episode. So if you missed the first part, please go back and find it because otherwise it might not make sense. Welcome to Getting Personal with Plant Medicine. I'm your host, Diana Crash, and today I am joined by Holly Hillier of Utopia Herbs. How are you doing today, Holly?
Hi, I'm doing so well. Thank you so much. My birthday's tomorrow, so I'm trying to take the day off tomorrow. It's really, really going to be hard. I can't ever truly take a day off because I grow plants and
Yeah.
they don't take a day off, but I'll do the best I can.
Well, speaking to that, you have a lot of different strain profiles on both of your websites. And
hmm
I think it's really, really cool how you have a trading card for each one. So what was the reason behind that? Like what led to
hmm
that whole story? That whole
Yeah, so
storyline. That's not what I meant to say. But what led to
no,
the
it's a
cards and
storyline
the
though.
yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a storyline, and we've built even our backstory of like we have this master herbalist, Arista, who goes through a portal in her chicken coop. So it's kind of, not had a nod to my own experience and everything into this portal. And she goes to the land of Utopia. But we, on the recreational side, we had been growing for, what, 5, 6 years. And I started to get just bored of what we were doing. And we had this logo that I think I had 99 designs do. And it was just a little sunshine. It was just like everyone else's. And I started thinking, gosh, this may be the only business that I ever have in my whole life. Like I never thought I would be a business owner in my, younger days. So I thought I am squandering this opportunity to really have fun with this. And so we spent a while just brainstorming and thinking of, new branding and, we had a great name already, but just what else can we do to elevate the experience, make it fun for people? Because all that we were seeing out there was just brands that we're not excited to buy from. They're the psychedelic looking ones, they're the street, graffiti art ones. There's a couple that are very pharmaceutical and just like white and with a brand name. And none of them were any fun. None of them spoke to me. So I thought, why don't we just build something that we would actually buy from and that we would love, and to get some energy back into this? Because growing can take a toll, growing and selling. And I don't know how much people know what goes on behind the scenes of like in Oregon, at least, you have to show up still to every single dispensary with like your bag of flour after every single crop and go door to door, and you build some relationships, but it's showing up and being like, hey, do you want to see my flower today? And then opening up each bag and showing them like, here's this strain, here's that strain, and them going through and then making their orders, and then you go to the next one. So it's like door to door sales. And then the daily growing is every single day. You don't get a day off. You always have some problem. My dad always said, like, it's farming. Like, you have bugs, you have powdery mildew things, you have, other stuff that can just at any point you have one time where your watering doesn't go off and your crop's ruined. So farming's tough, the selling part's tough. So all of it was just like it takes, after 5 years of doing it every single day, you go, wow, this is a grind. And it's not this fun, great, you're just smoking pot every day. And, to actually run a successful cannabis business, it is a ton of work. And so we just, yeah, we wanted to have fun before we called it quits. We were like, well, I don't know how much longer I can do this. It's just draining. Maybe let's just make a last, like, fun thing. And once we decided on the cards, like, let's do something fun. We're gamers. Um, let's do strains, like all the strains that we grow. Let's draw illustrations and make them into little cards that looked kind of like, we made our own version. We were inspired a little bit by different things like Pokemon and Magic and just trading card games in general. We're like, what if we had this trading card that had like the stats of the plant and like the strain, but it was in this mystical land of Utopia. So we had like an aha moment where we're like, let's just build this world. And we were playing Final Fantasy at the time too, which we've played our whole lives. And we just were staring at the Final Fantasy poster in our room, thinking that's what we want to invoke, this feeling of adventure and discovery. And like in life, there's so few surprises left. And I think, yeah, you just, once you get into your 30s, you're like, okay, I'm kind of seeing it all. There's not a lot of new.
Hmm.
And video games bring that. You're new and quests and surprises. So we wanted to infuse all of that. And so once we came up with the idea of doing the cards, we just ran with it. And at first it almost failed. We had relied on the bud tenders to hand it out with the flower purchase. Like, oh, if they buy this strain, they get this card. That didn't happen. Like it wasn't happening regularly enough. So then we decided to do our own packaged, pre-roll pack that we could put the card in. So we designed it all around the card and then they bought it and we can control that experience. And then that made it even better because we decided to randomize all of the cards. And so then you're surprised when you open it, you don't know what card you're going to get. And then it might be a holographic card because we have like a 20% chance of getting a holo card. Um, we even did some quests and stuff on collecting different cards. So it really, again, like that's what was our very first like rejuvenation of, getting into something. You do it for a while and then like this became fun. And it was what I always wanted out of a company. Um, so we ran with it. And so that's how the cards kind of started. And then we became obsessed with it. We're like, we're going to add terpenes in here. We're going to add locations. We have the Narg, the land where all the terpenes live. and, and it's fun. And I think once you hit a certain age, they say it's really young too. It's like after 10, you stop like using your imagination, right? You probably know this because you're a mom. Like, um, but
Well,
yeah,
some
kids.
people don't even have imaginations. I didn't know that that was I'm one of them. I don't.
Oh,
It's called aphantasia, and it's like it's a
oh,
thing that some people have. My husband's completely opposite. Like he is all
mm-hmm.
about everything you're talking about. Like he would probably he's like jump right in there and be able to come up with a bunch of stories. And I, on the other hand, am like I can't visualize any of like I have to see. I can think of
Ah,
things, but I don't have like a fantasiful imagination.
oh,
I
that's
never
interesting.
have.
I think yeah, I've heard of that. But yeah, so I think people in general, though, after a certain age, they stop really using their imagination and being creative. And I never thought of myself as a creative person. I'm very much like, yeah, I don't know how to draw. Like, I don't know how to, like, I'm not very artistic. And I thought of artistry and being an artist as being creative, like one and the same, which they are. But then if you're not an artist, though, you can't be creative. And I was a project manager, so I'm very much just like, yeah, like I need to-do lists and like I need organization. So I didn't let creativity come into my life much. But cannabis, by the way, for all of you people listening, is exceptionally great at bringing out creativity. So we would get stoned and think of things and talk about it, and it became our new pastime. And as you flex that muscle and practice creativity and imagination, you get better at it and you want to do it more and it becomes more comfortable. And that I found was an incredible discovery. And I still like am not artistic, like being able to like hand draw anything. I draw stick figures, but I've gotten more artistic on, like on the computer and Photoshop and doing different online designs. I designed our website and even watching TV shows, we just pause it and just start talking about the world of Utopia and what we wanted it to be and all these characters. And and then we started getting, fans doing some fan art and stuff and showing us our collections of here's all the cards we collected and wanting to hear more about the quests. And so it's been a dream come true to be able to, and it's just the start of things, I feel like, to be able to build this community of people though. And I call everyone adventurers. And just welcome it into this world where you can participate
Hmm.
and just be a part of it and let loose, and it should be fun. Um, I think, yeah, cannabis for all of its medicinal purposes, I think also it has that creativity and that fun aspect of it as
Yeah.
well.
I mean, I think it also lends to a lot of different ways for being creative, right? Like beyond a- art, but art can mean so many things.
Hmm.
But I think it helps you think about how to solve problems creatively, how to have
Hmm.
conversations creatively, how to approach certain issues in life creatively, you know? Um, so speaking of creative, before we end this, let's talk about your catnip joints because that is super creative as a cat lover over here. And I can't wait to get some for my girls, even though I already told you I think that they'll like it like probably months down the line, or if I like put it in the dogs area, maybe they'll you know.
Get jealous.
Well, yeah, when I was growing it, they like catnip, but I don't, it's
Hmm.
when I try to give them a toy, it's like they'll find it on their own. Like they'll figure it out. Like I if I give it to them and I'm too excited, it's like pump the brakes.
Yeah. Oh, cats are funny that way. And it's interesting because I had a customer recently that started buying them for her dogs. And I was like, wait, these are for cats, right? And she goes, no, my dogs love catnip. And then she sent me videos of her dogs all eating them and bringing them around in their mouths. And I thought that was hilarious. But
That's so
yeah,
funny.
we have two cats, and I don't know, we're always on the couch, smoking in the evenings, and our cats are with us and our dogs are with us, and we're like, oh, yeah, it's sad that they can't participate in any way. And one of my cats really loves catnip. Not all cats do, by
Yeah.
the way. One doesn't really care for it that much. She prefers a laser pointer, but for the one that does, I just thought it'd be a fun thing for them. So then I can smoke my joint, throw them a joint, especially when you're high. It's hilarious. Just your cat batting around the catnip joint and chewing into it. And then we wanted to do something positive as well. So what we're doing is donating 50 cents per catnip pack to the cat adoption team, which is a local animal shelter. They're a cat only shelter and they're no kill. Um, and yeah, we partnered with them on our cannabis side for our packs actually for a big period of time when we first launched them, with our crazy cat lady quest that we were doing. We did this whole quest around it and donated $1,000. We raised $1,000 for cat adoption
Oh, that's
team,
awesome.
and yeah, they're an amazing organization. And so we wanted to support them again. And I love that I love cats and I love cannabis. And I was like, how do you force these two together? How does it make sense to donate to a cat shelter? And quite frankly, I don't think I need an excuse. We can donate to whoever the heck we want to.
Right.
But to like kind of make that connection for the customer, to make it authentic, that they understand why we're doing this. My mom sent me once, there was a dog breeder because she was looking at getting a dog that was saying that all some of the money towards the dog would go to like kids in Africa or something. And she was just kind of like, bullshit. Like, why? She didn't really quite believe it. And so I was like, I think people need a connection there of why you're doing it and they're buying something for their cat. And so I hope people will help support, because the catnip joints, are fun as hell,
Can
but
humans
they
smoke
also,
them? Because
yeah.
I know like that's a new trend now. I was going to ask you if you ever
Mm-hmm.
put because I was growing catnip for a while and then a storm knocked it out, so I have to start all over again. But my intent was to either start making catnip tea or like
Mm-hmm.
sprinkling a little bit in the pre rolls because I started with Damiana and Mulin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but
Mm-hmm.
I would like to try. I've heard some more people are using catnip about, and it helps them with like anxiety and relaxation and
Mm-hmm.
things like that.
Yeah, I discovered that after I launched the catnip joints, actually, that people were using them, for using catnip for sleep. It like helps you sleep, and there's all these other medical benefits of it. And my husband and I joke that I think maybe it was the government or like whoever thought of naming it catnip. Maybe that was their way of hiding the actual medical properties and that's good for humans by like, let's just call it catnip. So then they'll never know. They'll never think of using it themselves. Because like I said, the earth like has a bounty
Yeah.
of medicinal plants that are amazing that people don't always know about, like dandelions in your
Oh,
yard.
I
You know, I
love it.
like, yeah, they're weeds.
We
Like
did a whole
spray them
episode
with
of that.
Roundup.
Yes, I love.
Kill them immediately. And
No.
it's like, no,
Right.
they're actually really good. So,
Yeah.
my mom's raising chickens and learning all about different herbs. Um, so yes, I think catnip can be a great way. Our catnip joints, the catnip that we source, I wouldn't be like 100% confident to say that it's human grade. Like,
Right.
we source from an organic farm. It's great. Um, but just, I mean, an inhalation, you want to be very, very careful. Like, with cannabis, it undergoes all of this testing.
Mm-hmm.
So we test for microbials and contaminants and everything. So I think I wouldn't feel comfortable recommending catnip, smoking our catnip joints or anything because they're not tested at the same levels that you would test cannabis or
Right.
hemp. So, but I think, yeah, so if you're growing your own or whatnot, I think absolutely try it out. Yeah, it's super helpful. I've tried it once or twice. I think twice now. And yeah, I did it in a little tea. And I
I
felt
just
like it
thought
was
of
calming. And yeah.
Yeah, I just thought about a time when I was in high school and I was working at a pet store at the mall, and my friend would sell the raw catnip to these neighborhood kids and tell them that it was
Oh,
cannabis. And they were like, "We got high off of it." And I was like, "Yeah, sure you did." But now I'm wondering, maybe they
yeah.
did.
Yeah, I haven't smoked it, so I don't know. Just in the tea, it's nice, yeah, nice and calming. But I'll let you know if I do. I'll report back.
Yeah. So before we end, can you tell people where they can find you?
Absolutely. So you can find us in two places. So if you want more information on our farm, if you happen to live in Oregon, we'd love for you to check us out. We have our regular THC flower and our THC pre-rolls in dispensaries across Oregon. So you can go to utopia.farm. And then all of our socials are Utopia Farms on that side. And then on the hemp, if you're interested in gummies, they're really potent, amazing. Like I think I mean, I'm a bias, but I think they're the best
They're
quality gummies you can
delicious.
get.
Like they're seriously delicious.
And it's funny, I broke down a video yesterday saying the cost of them because
Yeah,
somebody
I
said,
saw that. I love that, by the
yeah,
way.
like if you're taking a 5 milligram doses,
Mhm.
which is usually what I take, about a quarter gummy, which is 5 milligrams, that ends up being, I did the math real quick, it was 63 cents. And I'm like, wow, what else can get you high for 63 cents? So, but anyway, so if you're interested in gummies, we have our hemp pre-rolls, which hemp is great for tolerance breaks, for just relaxation, unwinding. It doesn't have that psychoactive effect of THC, but it has many of the benefits. It's high CBD. Ours are over 15% CBD, and you get the fun card and the whole experience, and then the catnip. So if you're interested in that, go to utopia.com. And then all of my socials. I'm really active on TikTok, Utopia Herb Co. So we have Utopia Farms and Utopia Herb Co.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was a pleasure, truly.
Thank you. I really enjoyed being able to share my story. Hopefully, it inspires people that, um, educates them on knowing how great this plant is. And maybe it will inspire a couple people to think about pursuing their dreams because that's another thing that was huge for me is I haven't been in a cubicle in over 8 years, and it's been the best decision of my life. It's been really hard, but I think if you're going after something you're passionate about, um, then that you only live this life once.
That's true.
So it's very short.
True
It's just a
story.
little blip. So, and as I'm turning 37 tomorrow, I'm realizing that more and more that it's so short. So really go after your dreams and you can make it happen. Even, I mean, I bootstrapped this whole thing. Not everyone can do that, I know, but there are wonderful people out there. There's wonderful resources. If I can be a resource to anyone too on, that wants to, especially other women that maybe want to be a grower, that just have questions or startup. a hemp business or something. As much as I can be, I would like to be a resource and an inspiration, um, and continue helping people. I get really nervous about the rescheduling and the farm bill and all of what they're doing, but I really hope that we can continue providing this medicine to people across the country, and hopefully we can ship internationally. I get so many people from the UK, Ireland, all these different countries saying, I need this. And I'm like, I don't, it's your country's rules. Like, I can't, it's not me that doesn't want to ship there.
Right.
But yeah, so that's my hope.
Oh, well, I hope so too. Thank you again. This episode was produced by Your Highness Media, audio editing done by James Crash, and sponsored by mitragaya.com. Be sure to subscribe and rate our podcast if you haven't yet. And subscribe to our Your Highness Media newsletter on Substack for everything new going on in the Your Highness Media world.